Hello friends, welcome. Today we will discuss political thought of Aggannasutta. Friends, Aggannasutta is the 27th sutta of the Digha Nikaya, the largest Nikaya of the three Pitaks of the Buddhism. The sutta is the word which is used in Pali for the word sutra, the formula. The sutra word of Hindi, as we all know. The sutras are available in the Arthashastra, Dharmashastra, Niti Shastra. There are various discourses in ancient India in which various sutras are available, and this sutta word is the Pali translation of the word sutra. So sutta describes a discourse imparted between Buddha and two Brahmins, Bharadwaja and Vaseta. Actually, Bharadwaja and Vaseta were looking forward to become monks. They have left their family, their society, their caste, everything, and now they were on their path to become a Buddhist monk. And then there was this discussion between the Buddha and Brahmins and those two Brahmins, in which they discussed about the society, the caste, the economy, the kingship. So Aggannasutta is a very, very important ancient Indian text which provides information about the Indian thought of the kingship, statecraft. Many critics all over the world has various times reiterated that India do not have any strategic thinking about the kingship or the social change or the administration, revenue. But so far in the learning of Indian text, we have seen that whether it is Mahabharata, whether it is the Niti Shastra, Arthashastra, Manu Smriti, Dharma Shastra, or any other text, many texts, we have seen that there is a lot of thinking about the strategic aspect of kingship, statecraft is available in Indian text. So Aggannasutta is a link between in all those chains. So moving forward into the session, if we look at the Aggannasutta as a historical text, the text is considered to be by Buddhists to be an actual teaching of Buddha. This is the actual discourse which happened between the monks and the Buddha, and it took place somewhat between 6th or 15th century BC and preserved by the disciple. Actually, it was a discussion and has been collected, preserved by the disciples in its present form. Okay, so Aggannasutta contains many information about the social changes. It contains information about from common property to a system of private property. Economy, the society witnessed the change from common property to the private property. At first, all the property used to belong to the public. But as the people got used to those social we can say social things which occurs around them, so that gave them idea that this system of private property evolved. Okay, so but the evidences are also available that this text is around 5th or 6th century BC. It deals with the two main features of the society: rice cultivation and cattle breeding, and economic conditions of the society. It has many aspects, Aggannasutta. As I already told you, the economy, cultivation, social chain, kingship, statecraft. And by the information available from this text, we can say that it is quite evident that India was an agricultural society in the beginning. The idea somewhat also provided, we can say, this text provides some idea that actually that was the economic change in the society which leads to the social change. And this idea has some synchronicity with the idea of Karl Marx, who advocated that actually that was the economic change which actually lead the social change. So this is somewhat we can say this is the resonancy between the text of the Aggannasutta and the ideas of Karl Marx. And after that, agricultural society, initially the society was agricultural majorly, and later and eventually it evolved into rice cultivation, then this idea of private property, then those family, then villages, then town, then bigger towns. The whole society took place likely wise. So private property emerged, and as a result, this brought a lot of changes in the society. Private property changes the concept of people's thinking. This is the beginning of the idea. We can say my land, my house, and my family. So, okay. So initially, which was an identical form of living, like the whole common property thing, or everybody's was the family in the society. So this thinking of private property actually leads to the idea that my land, my family, my house. Okay. Sutta gives the two main accounts related to human society. A comprehensive account of economic conditions, social functions, man's behavior, social changes. I told you the kingship and the statecraft, and three basic unions in the society. How the society was formed, family, then village, and then town. System of institutions. Okay. The origin of kingship also provided in Aggannasutta. Duties for the king. It is a very important aspect of this sutta, which you have to remember, that the duties of a king are devised in this text. Okay. I will also tell you the story that how that concept of kingship arise in Aggannasutta. Actually, Buddha Vasita, when asked the question that how the concept of kingship evolved. So you will see that whatever the ideas provided in Aggannasutta about the evolvement of we can say kingship, somewhat it is similar to the idea of Western thought. In Aggannasutta, Buddha told them, initially the people were scattered all around. They were having abilities, but they were not able to control themselves. They were not able to direct themselves into a certain direction. So what happens actually? The Lord himself identify an individual amongst all of them and bestowed him with the responsibility to lead the society into a certain direction towards development. Okay, you can also see that this idea is somewhat similar to the Western idea of kingship, where the sword of the temporal powers is being held by the king, and the sword of the spiritual, the religious matters, is held by the Pope. So this idea of Aggannasutta and the Western idea of kingship is somewhat similar, you can say. Okay. As per the theory of kingship elucidated in the text, the mentality to hold private property ultimately led the society to establish the institution of kingship. Everybody wants protection because he was having some property, and it was assumed that someone other will snatch you from that. So they all wanted what? They all wanted protection. They all wanted security. They all want to preserve their culture, their legacy. So they want a king who can do it for themselves. So what were the duties of a king as devised in Aggannasutta? He should be wrathful when indignation is right. He should censor that which should rightly be censored. He should banish him who deserve to be banished. So we can say the justice. The king should have the ability to prevail justice. Justice should be prevailed. The punishment should be provided, but with a feeling of sympathy. Okay, so this is also somewhat similar to the later Indian text of medieval India, where various Indian writers have, like Barni and Kabir, they said that a king should be able to ensure justice, but the justice should also have an element of sympathy. Okay. So what were the qualification of a king according to Aggannasutta? Abhiri Patara, Dasantyatara, Pasadikatara, and Mahesa Khatara. So these are the qualifications. A king should have these abilities to make a king. Abhiri Patara means the most handsome. He should be a well-developed man. Dasantyatara, the best favored. People should favor him. People should follow him. Pasadikatara, he should be attractive one, so his decisions should be followed by others, and he should also be the most capable, the Mahesh Khatara. He should be capable to perform the duty for his people. Okay, so this is the theory of kingship, the statecraft, how a state should run, and how there should be a king who will run that state. I also told you that ideas of Aggannasutta are also similar with later medieval Indian text of Kabir and Barni. They also have some similarities with the with the Western thoughts of contemporary period like Karl Marx. Okay, that what the social change was actually triggered by the economic change in the society. So this was the lecture about Aggannasutta, very important. Now we will consider the questions which can be asked from you. Aggannasutta deals with origin of life, origin of social order and caste, origin of secularism, origin of sixfold policy. So the correct option is B. Aggannasutta deals with social order and caste. The sixfold policy is provided in, it's about statecraft, is provided in other text of Chanakya. Secularism and origin of life, the discourse about these two things is not available in Aggannasutta. So option B is correct. Aggannasutta belongs to which Pitaka? Sutta Pitak of 3 Pali Pitaks. Aggannasutta belongs to Digha Nikaya. Digha is the word used for Digha Nikaya, and Digha has the literal meaning. It's big, vast. Digha means vast, big. So Sutta Pitak of the Aggannasutta belongs to Sutta Pitak of 3 Pali Pitaks, which are Sutta Pitak, Vinaya Pitak, and Abhidham Pitak. Friend, that's all for the session. Thank you.